National Irrigation Authority is working on ways to increase rice production in the country by at least 20,000 acres. Speaking during a farmers' field day in Hola Irrigation Scheme in Tana River County, the authority's CEO Joel Tanui noted that the move will bridge the consumption deficit, which has been on the rise. Paul Thiongo reports.
Tanui mentioned that the authority is working towards the expansion and rehabilitation of existing irrigation schemes, as well as introduce high-yielding rice varieties that are climate-smart, like the ones Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Organization (KALRO) and the International Rice Research Institute (IRI) have recently launched at the Hola Irrigation Scheme.
The reason for this is because in the 5-year plan we want to put on board another 100,000 acres of rice so that we can bridge the deficit in terms of rice consumption in this country. As you are aware, the consumption is way now going beyond the 600,000 metric tons per annum. And the second one is promoting now introduction of high-yielding varieties that are climate-smart also.
According to Dr. Ruth Musila, a rice breeder at KALRO, where the adoption and breeding of these high-yielding climate-smart varieties is already in place in 26 different locations throughout the country.
Distributed in the western region, in the coastal region, here we are in Tana River, one of the sites, and also in the central region. And what we are doing is that we want to identify, or together with the farmers, to introduce these climate-smart, improved, high-yielding varieties. One of these varieties is the CSR 36. The CSR 36 is climate-smart in that it is saline tolerant.
The country has had a challenge in terms of low production, but when it comes to consumption, the deficit is as high as 89% more because smart varieties are needed to close the gap between the two. Dr. Musila explained that farmers will only be able to adapt varieties that they identify with and that are high-yielding, those that mature early and match consumer preferences, which are long, slender, aromatic, non-sticky, and tasty.
We have been able to develop other varieties or other lines with the International Rice Research Institute. And we have 9 new lines. 5 of these lines are drought tolerant. 2 of them are saline tolerant. And 2 others are tolerant to flooding. Today we are using the participatory varietal selection approach, where we have the farmers, the rice stakeholders, the researchers coming together in order to be able to evaluate those varieties and be able to come up at least to score for each of them, so that from there we can be able to get 1 or 2 lines which we can promote to the national performance trials.
Komboka rice variety, introduced in both Moya and Bura rice irrigation schemes a while back, is one of the varieties that is showing promise for farmers and has seen them harvesting between 38 to 50 bags per acre compared to the old basmati rice that yields about 25 bags per acre.
The purpose is you usually have to start with the farmer and end with the farmer. By starting with the farmer is first of all, asking them what they want. Because previously, our research we just used to sit in the offices, read all the books in this earth, and then come up with technologies, come up with varieties for the farmer. So it was like we are pushing them to them.
As of 2021, the annual production of rice in Kenya was about 180,000 tons and consumption at about 1.1 to 1.2 metric tons every year. The country imports from Asian countries and neighboring Tanzania, which is self-sufficient in rice. For KTN News, I'm Paul Thiongo.
All right, thank you very much, Paul, for that story. And of course, that is a story that we'll be following up, and we are hoping it will be successful. But as promised, today is being Friday.